So many people put themselves in a position where they're like, I need money now. I hate my job. I gotta quit everything now. Oftentimes people are literally asking you because they see a gift in you and they're like, help me with this. And you're just brushing it off because you're like, what do you mean? That's the easiest thing in the world. Clearly not if they're asking you. You want to maintain a spirit of like independence and originality because that is attractive to your clients and it makes you unique and sets you apart from other people in your industry. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. Truly wear all the hats and do all the things, but I do it because I'm so passionate about helping you turn your success story into a 6- or even 7-figure personal brand. And it's possible, and in fact, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. How to become a millionaire life coach and empowerment brand. And it feels so good to be able to say that I am that and to do this video because I remember a decade ago being on YouTube, watching videos like this or stalking the profiles of other coaches. This was even before Instagram. I literally remember being on their blogs and fantasizing about the day where I could travel all over the country, even all over the world, doing speaking engagements, have people in my coaching programs, have all sorts of different products and different offers, and that's truly becoming a reality for me, which is really crazy. In fact, as I am doing this recording, I'm gearing up for a retreat that I am hosting, and get this, y'all, I'm hosting a retreat in South Africa, an international retreat for my coaching clients in South Africa. Like, pinch me. What life is this? What life is this, right? But if it's possible for me, it's certainly possible for you. And I just felt very reflective, you know, as I'm recording this, it's towards the end of the year. So I'm in my introspective kind of mood and phase. And I was like, man, if I were starting from scratch or if I was telling somebody else, like, you can do it, even if you're just starting from scratch, what would I tell them to build $1 million life coaching and empowerment brand? And basically, I'd tell them this. All right, so the first thing that I would tell you, and I am telling you, is that you need to monetize your most profitable gift. So I talk all the time about how we have different gifts and talents. There are things that we do super easily that people ask us about all the time, and we're like, we discount it or we brush it off because we're like, oh, that's no big deal. It comes so easy for us that we think there's no way that we can possibly monetize it because this is the easiest thing in the world. And what do you mean? Why are you asking me this question? But you would be really surprised. So one of the gifts that I have and that I have had and that really got me into this whole life coaching and then eventually business coaching game is my love for personal development and my ability to learn really fast. And I'm also like an action taker and an implementer. So that combined makes me a good person for quickly learning and communicating things in a very practical way to people so that they can follow it as well. And so one of the initial skills that I built very quickly that people ask me about all the time, but I was like, is this something people will even pay for? Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you asking me this? Is around the skill of self-discipline, if you can believe it. So I got my start in college on accident. I was trying to start a hair care business, actually. I was a full-time engineering major at Howard University, lost my scholarship because I stopped going to class. And so I ended up on this journey of reading all these personal development books, trying to figure out how I can get back in school, how I can get my scholarship back, all of these things. And so this was back in like 2009, 2010, 2011. I started blogging not to start a business, but just to get accountability because I was like, maybe if I get some readers of this blog and they'll see all the things that I need to do in order to get back on track, that will hold me accountable to actually do it. And so through a few years of, of reading, learning, and self-experimentation, I was able to not only get another scholarship, get back in school, but I graduated, I got a good job, after school, I had a good GPA and started building this brand on the side. And I did it all through self-discipline. And people had watched me the entire time and they started asking me. They were like, wow, I've been struggling with the same thing. I have all these goals. I can't seem to stick to it. What did you do to become so self-disciplined? Because we remember when you were like crying on your blog, talking about how you lost your scholarship, like, what did you do? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's such a, like, I just was self-disciplined. And they're like, no, like I've tried and I can't stick to it. Like, how do I do that? And so this is what I'm saying. Oftentimes people are literally asking you because they see a gift in you and they're like, help me with this. And you're just brushing it off because you're like, what do you mean? That's the easiest thing in the world. Clearly not if they're asking you. So if there's something that you are really good at, that people ask you about all the time, monetize that gift, right? Don't monetize the gift that you wanna go after and you think, oh no, I'm gonna do, If you wanna build, again, $1 million life coaching and empowerment brand, you can do all sorts of things. You can branch out later, but start by monetizing your most profitable gift, which is the gift that people are asking you about. All right, the second thing that you'll wanna do, and this is something that I did really well, even though I did it on accident, was build a brand before you build a business. So many people put themselves in a position where they're like, I need money now, I hate my job, I gotta quit everything now, that they try to build a business and immediately start getting coaching clients and trying to monetize things. But you will have much bigger success and more success longer if you build a brand first. Yes, there are different things that you can do to like get a client right away, but you'll find that you'll always be chasing clients and that money is short-lived and you won't have sustainable reoccurring revenue. So one thing that I did, and I did it in part because I was like, nobody's gonna pay me for this information. So I just spent years creating content on personal development, self-discipline. So I don't necessarily recommend that, but I did do the right thing in the sense that I focused on building a brand, creating a community, all of these things around the subject matter that I eventually coached on, so that when I was ready to come up with coaching programs, I already had a brand to support me. So make sure that you are building a brand before you try to build a business. All right, the next thing that you'll wanna do if you eventually wanna scale to $1 million life coaching brand and empowerment-based business is that you wanna start with the signature offer. Now, you can eventually create lots of digital programs, courses, etc., but you gotta have one thing that you're known for that you want to start with. And so for me, as I mentioned, my call to fame was self-discipline originally. I actually had a program that ended up blowing up and I had thousands of women coming through it called the No Excuses Woman program. I'm actually looking to reboot it for the end of this year, beginning of next year. So it's kind of a CLS classic and I'm gonna be rebooting it with all new improved information. But the original version of that program, No Excuses Woman, was all about how to master self-discipline and be a more self-disciplined person. And I really became known for like, you're that self-discipline girl, right? That was my original signature program. So you wanna think about, again, going back to that gift, the most profitable gift, what's a signature coaching program that you can create around that to not only make sure that you get notoriety, but to help you start getting some income in the door after you've built your brand. And if you're not sure on how to create a signature program, you can check out this video that I have here that tells you the exact template that I use to come up with all of my programs, but including my signature program. So you can check that out right here. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I wanna hear from you. What type of coaching brand do you wanna build? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that you'll need to do, on its face sound like a contradiction to what I just said, but next you'll want to build a product suite. So hear me on this. You start with the signature offer, right? That's what I did. It was my No Excuses Woman self-discipline program. But if you do it right and you get clients and you start to get some notoriety based on the signature offer, you are then going to want to scale and create an entire product suite of all sorts of different programs and coaching offers, because obviously not everybody is gonna join you in your signature offer. And so I started to do this really quickly where I had my self-discipline program and then eventually I had a time management program. People started asking me about business, so then I created my Blogger to Businesswoman program and things just really scaled from there. And even now you'll see I do this. I have my current signature offer, which is my Next Big Name Bootcamp. Super proud of this program. This is like literally one of the best programs I've ever created. You can check out this video right here that gives you a behind the scenes peek of what it looks like to be in the program. But I don't stop there, right? Because I know not everybody is going to be interested in that. And so I come up with all sorts of programs to help people on not just their coaching journey, but really their life journey, their money mindset journey, etc. And so I recently just released another program called The Package, which I'm super excited about. That's all about helping you not only package your coaching products, but really package yourself as the product that people ultimately want to get close to. And so there's a trailer that I just released on my channel, which you can also check out here. But that's an example of building a product suite, coming up with lots of different offers that people will ultimately want to get into, and that's gonna help you scale and grow to that $1 million level. The next thing you'll want to do, and I don't see this talked about enough online, but that is you wanna be a trailblazer, meaning you wanna follow the beat of your own drum to a degree. And I say this because, again, if we're coming from our coaching businesses from the standpoint of desperation, I need to quit my job, I need to make money, we're looking for like formula, paint by numbers approach, just tell me what I need to do to get money in the door. But I think one thing that I've really remained true to is myself in my business, And I've always kind of followed my own intuition. Yes, I've worked with coaches and I've learned, best practices and marketing and all of these things that have been hugely instrumental to my growth, but I've never let go of the vision that I have for my business for myself. And so part of the reason that I'm able to have a $1 million life coaching and empowerment-based brand is because I had a unique vision for a $1 million life coaching and empowerment-based brand. I knew what I wanted it to look like. I knew the types of offers that I wanted to have. I knew the type of lifestyle that I wanted to have. And so regardless of what anybody else was doing, I've always been very focused on creating things that ultimately I like for me, right? So I figure if you're a client of mine, you're similar to me and you have similar tastes that I do and you like the things that I create, but ultimately I create according to my own vision, no one else's. And so that kind of makes me a trailblazer where I do things the way I like them done. You even see in my marketing and like I mentioned, the trailer that we put out for the package, it's like, I didn't take a course to learn how to do that. It's just on my own taste. I was like, I think will be cool. So I did it, right? So you want to maintain a spirit of like independence and originality because that is attractive to your clients and it makes you unique and sets you apart from other people in your industry. So always maintain that trailblazing spirit. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you're gonna love my $1 Million Brand Masterclass. I give even more strategies on how I was able to build a $1 million coaching brand, and you can sign up for the masterclass by clicking the link below right now. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want even more where that came from, make sure that you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, then make sure you are following me on Instagram where I post daily, sometimes twice daily, as well as share all the behind the scenes of my life on my stories. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.